Hello and welcome. I'm Elliot Schall, joined by the FCS Senior Editor for Stats, Craig Haley, to talk some FCS college football. It's great. We got the season underway. Things are going. Things are really in high pace. We had some fun action this past weekend. And you know what? There's a lot of conferences playing other conferences. That's kind of how it always starts, at the beginning of the season with college football, and as you kind of get in later, conferences play each other. And I mean, with the FCS especially, when is enough enough?
Well, it's true because you can play up and play FBS teams, so you can have a really tough non-conference schedule. I do think you have to schedule smart in a given year. I mean, two teams that just played each other, Cal Poly and Montana, they really have tough schedules to start the year. Montana playing North Dakota State, then Cal Poly. After a week off, they go across the country and play Liberty. Cal Poly, after beating Montana, goes to Arizona State for an FBS matchup. And then they bring in Northern Iowa. So, yes, you can really overschedule at times, I think.
And I mean, it gets tough sometimes. Some of these matchups are very, very tough for some of these schools, but it's a good chance to, for players to kind of show up and make something big, and show yourself for scouts and also just make big plays. Now, we have another example of that this week. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. Eastern Washington going to Northern Iowa. Two terrific teams, number 7 versus number 14 in the stats rankings. Both teams in recent years have had a year where the September schedule was too difficult, and it caught up to them when they didn't win their conference. Eastern Washington, they play Oregon, then they go to Northern Iowa, then they play a Big Sky opponent in Montana State. Doesn't count towards the conference standings. Very tough schedule there. Northern Iowa even has a tougher after playing at Iowa State. They're hosting Eastern Washington, and then they go to Cal Poly. So, and that precedes even playing Illinois State, North Dakota State to start off their conference schedule. So, yes, those are really difficult schedules.
Right, and with the later start to the season, most FCS teams are playing 11 regular season games, and I mean that could be hectic. So how does that kind of affect the FCS and FBS matchups?
Well, that's a great point, Elliot. I mean, the last 2 years it was an 12 game schedule. This year with the later Labor Day, later start to the season, only 11. So most conferences are only playing 3 non-conference games. You have to be smart. There are teams out there that are playing 2 FBS opponents. Obviously, those are great games. If you can pull an upset, that'll get you with a playoff resume, and it's a good payday. But it's also very hard to beat FBS teams. There are some top 25 teams that are playing 2 FBS opponents this year. Eastern Kentucky, Liberty, Idaho State, just outside the top 25. Western Carolina is hopeful of getting in at some point. They're playing 2 SEC schools. It's very tough to beat FBS opponents, but if you do, it does help you. But yes, it is difficult when you're playing 2 in an 11-game year.
Yeah, well, I mean, still a lot to look forward to with these matchups, FCS, FBS, and also just, as the regular season goes, we're going to see a lot of great games. And hey, for more FCS coverage, make sure to check out the website. It's up and it's running and it's great. FCS.football. Again, that's FCS.football. Give that a look, and also give Craig a follow at Craig Haley, and also, give the FCS Stats a follow at FCS_stats. That's going to do it for us today. I'm Elliot Schall. Thanks for watching.